All right, hey, Joe, Big Fez. All right, we got everybody here, all two of us, by the way. All right. Sorry, guys. What happened was I've got a crappy camera on. I'm actually using my laptop camera, and I see a bar and hear you. Yeah, it's kind of a bar indeed. We're gonna wait for you guys to come roll in here. Here's the deal, Tactical Tuesday. What are we calling this? 129. And appreciate you guys hanging out. Yes, the F bomb counter's already at 2. I apologize for that. Here's the deal. We are down in Texas, which is good stuff indeed. We're down here, got basically classes for the next 2 weeks. I have a sponsor tonight, even though I'm on the road. Hey, if the power goes out, understand it's not really my fault. We're under a tornado warning here. But if it goes through, I want to thank our sponsor, Acre Gold. I will put the affiliate code underneath. Acre Gold's cool, guys. You don't break the bank. You start off buying your gold $50 a month. You get to watch your gold grow. Acre Gold keeps you up to date on how your gold stash is coming. When your gold stash reaches that price of that 2.5 gram Acre Gold bar, they discreetly ship it to you. It's easy, it's safe, it's secure. Cool part is your little survival belt. You can literally put those little gold bars are the perfect size for putting inside your belt. Just cut a little bit of the seam in the back and run your gold bars, and it's good stuff. It is. It's good stuff indeed. Totally Acre Gold. I appreciate you guys sponsoring us. I appreciate all you guys hanging out with us. Legitimately, sorry I'm on a bouncy table. You see, I've got, we're actually hanging out in a Pizza Hut. I got Emery, Bear Independent over there. Parmelios Dion, that's his real name. Who would do that? I'll have to talk to his mom about the whole naming thing. Is what it is. So anyways, like I was saying, we are down in Texas. We are at the Pizza Hut in Mexia, Texas. I'm in the lobby. I got bad internet, but it's better here than the hotel I'm staying at. Granted, when I booked the hotel online, it was the best hotel I could find. Nah, it was actually the cheapest hotel I could find, but it is what it is. So we're down here. I've spent all day long Refuge Medical, Bear with his guys. Refuge Medical. You can go to refugetraining.com. I've never sat through one of their medical classes before. 2 days long. And again, you could sign up for the Stop the Bleed. Well, I'll tell you what, the guys here doing it today, they're essential responder course. I've been doing all scenarios today. And they dog these guys. They come around, their shirts and their pants are destroyed. They're covered with dirt. They're covered with fake blood, moulage, chest seals, tourniquets. They've been doing break contact drills and moving casualties, and they've got guns that run off of CO2. It's been awesome, really. Hands down, the best medical training that I've seen done at a civilian level. I have my phone. Dana, can you please delete other video with profanity? Yes, that's my blushing bride. She is telling me to delete the other video. Okay. Guys, my wife, she's awesome. And she has politely asked for me to delete the old video because I apparently use profanity. So I'm actually doing that right now. I'm going to delete it. Why? Because she's my better half and I love her. So, all right, I am back. Man, the other video made me chuckle. I was going through some of the comments here, and JT's here. I know I got Donut here. Susan Britcher, you guys know all my moderators. Susan Britcher is actually here tonight. She's her and her husband flying in. Her husband got delayed. He'll be here tomorrow. But bottom line, they're here for training. I've got a bunch of other patrons here. But Bear is getting ready to take off. So before Bear takes off, I wanted to have Bear come on the live stream. You guys know the deal. When Kentucky got hit, Western Kentucky got hit with the tornadoes, Bear.
Hey, guy.
Pleasure, dude.
Good to see you, brother. My hand's wet because I peed on it.
Me too, man. Me too. You got all these groups that come in to do disaster relief, and Rubicon, Team Rubicon, and Red Cross, and 4-H, and I think the Girl Scouts were out there cleaning up. All you guys were like, Carl, how do we help? How do we help? How do we help? And I told you all to hold off because I wanted to see who was actually helping. And I know I got monkeys here. James Doe, that's his name. James, I understand you're not a Bear Independent fan. Understand, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I don't give a fuck. I don't. And here's why. Because there's so many haters of everybody on the internet. I have haters. I sit back and instead of listening to monkeys like you on the internet, I sit back and I observe. You know who was helping out at those tornadoes right at my house? Literally, where I live. Certain people rolled in, and Bear, you were like one of the first ones there, and he was like the last one to leave. Want that to sink in because Team Rubicon came in and left a bunch of jobs undone, and it is what it is. So it is what it is. So, Bear, I want to thank you for what you did there. And I sat through this medical class, the first one of your classes I've sat through.
Yep.
And, dude, I was blown away. The first part, stop the bleed. Okay, it's kind of standardized. The laws of physics haven't changed.
Yep.
There's certain protocols. I'm big on taking basically your committee for tactical combat casualty care, military, and they put out new guidelines. I have their latest guidelines. I won't say I follow them all the way, and here's why. Because we take my guys, tactical riflemen, we modify all classes we've ever had to fit our clients, specifically the military tactical combat casualty care, where literally every person has military first aid kit on them.
Yep.
They're all wearing body armor. And I modify that to what are civilians going to find. Civilians are not wearing body armor at the mall. And as far as needing to do needle decompressions, civilians are not taking their casualties over the mountains in Afghanistan on a helicopter. So we cover it in our classes, but we don't get as deep into that. But for me, think tourniquets. We're big on what makes a correct tourniquet correct. Mm-hmm. But then what about when you don't have tourniquets? So I don't care if you've got $10,000 worth of medical gear up in your attic. When you are Christmas shopping at the mall and that old timer has a heart attack and lands his Cessna in the food court and you all of a sudden in a mass casualty, right?
Yep.
It could happen.
Yep.
Why would I take off my belt and have my pants and my pistol fall off when I'm standing in front of a rack of $100 silk scarves in the front of Dillard's? You see what I'm getting at? So know what makes a tourniquet correct, and then how can I improvise? So that's where we gear our stuff. Laws of physics haven't changed. You covered all this stuff in your classes, but what blew me away was today I show up a little late for class.
Responder 3 today.
Responder 3. And these were guys that knew what they were getting into. Hey, look, it's going to be scenarios all day long. But they didn't know you guys were going to be having them do grass drills and everything else. Literally, push-up positions, spraying them down with water, low crawling. Why would you do that? Because you're pushing their heart rate monitors on the fingers, pushing these guys up into the red. Because the reality is, you haven't just ran a marathon. I got that. But if you ever have to do first aid on a loved one, or if you ever have to push your daughter behind you in a gunfight, I'm here to tell you, you are at your target heart rate. You quickly go, your situational awareness from yellow and the white. Dana, I know you watch. She has sat through my combat mindset class like 4 times. So you quickly go from yellow, situationally aware, to orange, you're amped up, you can start getting focused. Red, 100% tunnel vision.
Yep.
And they did a great job of pushing those guys into the red. And some of these guys were all the way in the black.
Yep.
Well over 200 for heart rates, 100% focus.
And we pull them back.
Yeah,
we pull them back. Hey, take a time out.
It was funny.
The reason we do that is because most of these guys don't know where their hard left and right limits are. They've never been pushed that hard.
They've never been pushed.
And you need to know how you're going to react in that situation while building the automaticity to be able to render aid for yourself or somebody else, because it's never going to be ideal when I got to use this tourniquet, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Or whatever it might be. You know, and so there's also stress inoculation. The more times you do it, the less it freaks you out when you do it. But if you've only been doing it for 2 days, you're going to be stressed the F out. So, but yeah, it's been a blast. Waco's cool. The facility's awesome. Really good facility.
Yeah. I was surprised. This is my first time down at Tiger Valley. Tomorrow was Combat Pistol 101. Sounds like a basic course. It is not a basic course. It is my introduction to combat shooting. Mm-hmm. So, and the reason we do it with pistol, because everything from here applies to here with a rifle. So if you can master pistol, carbine comes easy. That's tomorrow, which we're supposed to get rain all day long, which is awesome. The following 2 days are combat pistol carbine. Everything from transition drills, box drills, zipper drills, shooting while moving, all kinds of dynamic stuff, barricades, shooting around vehicles. The following day, Saturday, is Carbine Zero Mastery. We are, I used to cover point blank zero in my advanced pistol carbine class. But what we found was it's supposed to be a 2-hour block. And we'd piss away the whole morning, and it's only a 2-day course. And me and Instructor Z were like, why are these guys having a hard time zeroing their guns? And the reality is, it's not that they didn't zero before they came to the class. It's nobody's taught them the fundamentals of rifle marksmanship. And when you start talking, well, where did you zero? And some guys are like, well, I zero at 36 because that's what the internet says. I zero at 25 because I'm an old Army guy. I zero at 50 because that's what the military is doing right now with M4s. I zero at 100 because that's what my reticle is. So who's correct? Technically, they all could be correct. But by saying they do a 36 meter zero or they do a 50 meter zero, if you ask them both why, they say, well, that's my point blank zero, so I'm dead on at 200. No matter where the bullet is, it's within, doesn't rise more than 5 inches or drop more than 5 inches out to about 220. Okay, so if you're saying that with a 36 meter zero and she's saying that with a 50, who is correct?
Yeah.
Technically, you both could be, depending on barrel length, muzzle velocity, weight of bullets.
Yep.
But a lot of people don't actually grasp that. So that's Carbine Zero Mastery. It's a whole day. We work on grouping drills and getting them so that they can shoot accurate. And then we zero the guns properly, point blank zero. And then we gather data, 300 all the way in. We teach them where their point blank zero, their inner point blank zero is. For example, mine is not 36. Mine is not 50. For my rifle, 13.7 inch barrel, shooting 62 grain ammo. My point blank zero was actually 43 meters. 43. How do you know that? Well, you zero first max distance and then you move it in.
Right.
So, and then the following 2 days are our advanced pistol carbine class. Guys, we got some squirrely shit for these students this year. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. What's new on the plate for you?
Oh man, all the stuff. So Refuge Medical, right? I own and operate Refuge Medical. We just saved life number 36 with one of our kits, which is super cool. So, 2 years ago, started this thing in my barn, handmade, made in America, guaranteed forever. And that grew and that grew and that grew. And now it's like there's 18 families that work for us. We're on 4 continents and 36 people have had their lives saved with a Refuge kit, which is badass.
I don't mean to get on Joe Schleprock in the chat room, okay? Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and that's fine. But understand, I didn't know who Bear was. I could care less because I don't watch anybody's videos. There are all kinds of ass clowns on the internet that have got millions of followers. So when you want to use the word posers, yeah, there's some of them out there, but there's also great guys that get accused of different stuff. I've had one guy that said that he could prove that Larry Vickers was a fake. Larry Vickers is a fake. You understand? You no longer have a talking part in this conversation. Okay,
Right.
but on the internet, he would go on and on and on. Joe, you're welcome to your opinion. Okay, I could care less. Because I have my opinion. So I didn't know who Bear was. Somebody out of the blue wanted to send me. I don't think you even knew about it. Somebody wanted to send me a Refuge Medical kit because there's certain places that sell Europe.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll check it out. Well, this kit showed up, and I'm like, there's too much shit in this. There's too much shit in it. There's literally, to me, the tourniquet doesn't belong in the kit. The tourniquet belongs on the front. Like I got one on the front of my gun belt. I have where you can reach it with either hand. I have one on the front of my body armor where I can reach it with either hand. Med kit on the back. My buddy aid kit is top of my body armor, right below the row of flashbangs, because that was my old unit SOP. Your guys said that's the second tourniquet. The second tourniquet is because
Correct.
sometimes guys need second tourniquets. And I thought about that. And me as an 18 Delta, SF medic, I would always carry my deltoid pockets on my uniform, always packed with medical gear. I was taught to clamp bleeders. Mm-hmm. So I have short, they're called mosquitoes, curved hemostats. They're short, and I'll actually put them in the pocket and I clip them on the seam so they couldn't fall out. Yep. My level of medical training is different than other people's. And the cool part was I modified my gear for me. And I looked at what everybody else was being taught. The next box that showed up was all your, literally, they sent me one of each one of Bear's kits. And I was like, I have a row of kits from H&H. I have a row of kits from North American Rescue. I've got a row of kits from ATS Tactical. And ATS Tactical Gear has got some great kits. Yours, without a doubt, most comprehensive.
Thank you.
Then I think I met you down at the Big Daddy Unlimited Epic shoot.
Yep.
Okay, shake hands. Nice guy. Put a name to face. We chatted. I'm like, all right, this guy. And again, I don't want shit on the internet. I don't listen to anybody on the internet. You guys mentioned something about your stomp bag.
Yep.
Stomp was a term that I had not heard in years. On our helicopters was where the stomp bag was. And I don't even know what stomp stands for. I just knew that stomp was the biggest med bag. It was too big for me to carry on the target. It had everything. And it was designed so they literally, the helicopter could come in and without touching the ground, they would just push it out. And it had everything that the medic, if the medic didn't have it on him, the stomp bag had it. My medical classes, okay, whatever, but all my shooting classes, all my CQB classes, all my precision rifle classes, you can ask Emery, when I do my medical gear, dude, I got one right there unopened.
Thanks, Susan.
Oh, I didn't know. Sorry.
What are we asking me?
I didn't see it.
What's up, guys?
Sorry.
Guys, Emery Morgenstern, international man of mystery.
He also has a Patreon, so get on Patreon
Yeah, he
and
does.
support Emery.
Thanks.
Here's the
You're
deal,
welcome.
guys.
See,
He
this
had
is
to
why we
tow
have
my
friends.
target
I'm on
trailer
there.
here.
Come on there.
Yeah.
Stomp
What
bag.
were we
What were you
asking if I
saying?
needed?
No, so anyways,
Fuck right
his stomp bag, medical bag, I went through and I was like, this is better than the A bag that I'm using at my shooting classes right now. So I went up to my attic and I pulled out my old med bag when I was in 18 Delta. And I've got sheets of plastic in there that have already got the Vaseline gauze already taped on 3 sides. So I literally can peel them off and stick them one-handed.
Yep.
It is set up for me to be able, and remember 18 Delta, so I had stethoscopes and minor surgical wound kits and all the, I had IVs that were expired. I had ketamine expired, atropine expired, epi expired, Benadryl, Narcan, Nubane, all my Nubane. So it was good because I have since restocked my bag. But I looked at my bag, and I looked at your stomp bag, and basically all I had to add to yours was a couple of, I got this little thing of voodoo bones that I use for classes. Mm-hmm. Don't ask, it depends what country you're working in. They believe in voodoo. I added an ambu bag and a couple other small items. But guys, if you're interested in a turnkey medical bag that has everything, and you don't have the knowledge to pick and choose like I did, that stomp bag blew me away.
Appreciate it,
blew
man.
Me away.
So stomp bag is SEAL Team Operational Medical Pack.
Yeah.
And we were hanging out with some of those guys recently, and before the end of last year. And one of these guys, they're training, right? And so they're all keyed up. And he's like, "What's that?" It's like, "It's a stomp bag." He goes, "What? How do you know what a stomp bag is?" It's like, "Bro, you publish your specifications. We took that and just made it better." And he's like, "Well, I'm a medic." I was like, "Cool, have at it." And he begrudgingly started tearing through it. And he's like, "Shit, this thing's awesome."
Yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
"Thanks, bro.
Exactly.
I appreciate that."
Exactly.
So
before guys want to bitch, I'm like, before somebody tells me they're awesome, or before somebody else tells me somebody isn't awesome, pull it out, unzip it, pull it out, and lay it on the table. If you want to get into a size contest, show me your junk. Put your junk on the table. And the reality is I see all these little med pouches on guys' body armor, and it's sad stuff. Really is. Mountain, indeed, they are.
Amanda.
Sister Kate, so far, Mountain.
Amanda Murphy.
Oh, who?
Amanda.
Lanny isn't doing well, and we've made the decision to take him off ventilator tomorrow. Oh, Amanda, I'm so sorry to hear that. Lanny, one of my patrons. Amanda, you just broke my heart, girl. So anyways, guys, I want to give a shout out to Lanny and my whole Patreon family. You guys know who Lanny is. He's always on our Zoom live streams. I ask you guys that you keep Lanny. I'm not worried about Lanny. I'm not. I know he's going through the pearly gates, but I ask that you keep Lanny in your prayers, but also give a prayer out for Amanda, because I know this is going to crush her right now. That sucks. He's been fighting cancer. Lanny had terminal cancer. They only gave him a couple months to live. That was years ago. He's been fighting like a trooper, old Air Force guy, and just the nicest. I was lucky enough that coming back from one of these classes, I was lucky enough. I 2 hours out of my way. I swung out of my way to go meet Lanny, shake his hand. We sat down, and Amanda basically put her whole life on hold to take care of her dad.
Wow.
And
bless you, Amanda.
Sucks. Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
That sucks. Karen. Yeah, Karen. Another. I've got a bunch. Everybody here is my patron right now, pretty well.
It's cool when you. I mean, in this situation, it's like that sucks for Lanny, that sucks for Amanda, right? But. And as much as a pain in the ass as YouTube is, look what you can do with it. You know, like it can be a tool for good. You build these relationships with people. You're able to connect with people and have meaningful interaction with people. Be there for people and help them out. You know, and that's a beautiful thing. You know, that's a beautiful thing.
When I started Patreon, Susan, how many years ago was it? 4 years ago. We went from 3 million views a month to and they started demonetizing every video. I'm like, I can't pay for the film crew to fly down from New York City. What do I do? I'm going to have to close my YouTube channel. We started Patreon as a way to offset that. And it did that. I want to thank my patrons, whether you're a dollar patron or a big patron. I have one of my Medal of Honor patrons is sitting over here. I won't throw Parmelius under the bus and bust him out in front of people. Did I just do that out loud? Did I just do that? I'm not good at this. I'm not. You guys know I appreciate every patron, but Bear, more important though, was Susan was one of my original 5 patrons.
Awesome.
And we call her Mama Bear. She manages, she schedules the Zoom live streams on Patreon and takes care of everything. And she'll tell you without a doubt, the money's nice. Okay, it helped me put my daughter through medical school. I got that. More important though is the family. You'll hear us talk about Patreon. We use the word family.
Yep.
We do, and they fight. I have a lot of brothers and sisters. For example, Donut and Susan. They love each other, but they fight like cats and dogs, which is just the coolest. They've never met each other in person. Sherry Champagne, resident nutbag. All right, Jerry J. I don't know if Jerry's here. I saw Sherry Champagne is here. They show up to classes, and we have such a great time. We do a Patreon class once a year.
Yep.
So, anyways, it's a great time, great family, and guys, I don't know if you can see the flashing here, but we got lightning outside the trees.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
right there. That was a good one.
The trees have stopped leaning over, which tells me we're in the eye, which is okay. I don't worry about it. If it's my turn, I don't care. I zero regrets. My wife will say, "Well, don't you want to walk your daughter down the aisle when she gets married?" I'm like, "No, I don't want my daughter to even date." Like, no, I don't. No,
I feel that.
I love my daughter.
I feel that. Yeah, I got a couple daughters. I totally feel that.
Oh, poor girl. Can you imagine having me for a dad?
So my daughter's in high school, and I'm looking at all these young men, aka boys in high school. I'm like, there's not one of them here that I would let even stand next to you. They're all a bunch of sop and wet P words, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, no way.
So my daughter, and she's a smart cookie. She's valedictorian. I'm very proud of my daughter, but she was also captain of the cheerleading squad, right? So I'd be upstairs. I got a 2-story house. My man room, I got a walkout basement. So my man room is basically my old basement. I actually finished it. Mm-hmm. Got all my SF pictures hanging up on the wall, all my war trophies. No, I didn't cut ears off, but I got a few sets of prayer beads and stuff like that people didn't need anymore. Stack of casings with DNA rubbed on them, sitting up on the shelf. Anyways, long story short, I'd be upstairs and my daughter would come crashing through the door with 3 or 4 cheerleaders, a couple high school athletes, and they'd all go down the stairs in the man room to play pool or watch movies on the big screen. And everybody's like, "Dude, you good with that?" And I'm like, "Dude, every one of those boys, no matter what direction they face in that room, there's a picture of her dad holding a gun." And my daughter explains to them, "My dad has killed lots of people that he didn't even know." Can you imagine what my dad would do to somebody that hurt his little girl's feelings? Then they go, "Okay."
That's a good move.
Then they bug the other cheerleaders. So I love my daughter to death. She's an awesome girl. And I don't worry about her. I don't, because my wife did an awesome job raising my daughter. I'm a total failure as a father. I'm a failure as a husband. But my wife did a great job. She really did. So if you're watching, God bless you. I love you. The toughest job in the Army is, they say, an Army spouse. But you hear about the Army units that come back from Afghanistan, and they have the band and all the families waving the signs. We literally landed once coming back from Iraq, and the 101st landed at the same time, and they had the band and everything. I got off the plane. My wife wasn't even there. She had brought my Tahoe down there and put the keys under the gas cap, because we were literally deploying. I'd come home for 2 weeks and then I'd go back.
Yep.
And it reached the point to where, and my wife wouldn't bitch. because she bitched early in my career before the towers fell, peacetime, and I said, look, you're right. All I ask is if it's ever real, support me 100% because I need to have my mind in the fight.
Yeah.
And bless this woman's heart. But when the towers fell that afternoon, I was out on my driveway spraying my desert gear shades of darker brown.
Yeah.
We already knew we were going to Afghanistan. And then we came back from Afghanistan. We went right to the Horn of Africa. Went from there, came home for 2 weeks for the wife to do the laundry. Went to the initial invasion of Iraq, back to Africa, back to Iraq, back to Iraq. And then they literally blur together. And my wife did not complain at all. And so yeah, I'm way behind the power curve. Guys, we got a beautiful rainbow out front. I would turn the laptop around so you could see it, but I don't want to.
It's cool though.
Yeah, it is cool. That is kind of cool.
Yeah. Sun clouds broke right back there. So
again, I'd show you, but
yeah. They gotta look at us instead.
You guys didn't pay to you didn't pay to see my rainbow. It's just for me. All right. Here's the deal. You guys know how this works. You guys, if you have questions for us, you do not have to put them in the chat. You don't have to do super chat. However, what you do is, like I said, you can put your questions in the chat. And Susan Britcher, our head moderator, Mama Bear, she takes pictures of them. And then she actually sends them to me on my phone. So the first one is from 1904. It's actually a super chat. DH. Who is DH? You going to do another round of classes like this next year? You're talking about in Texas. And number one, if you're talking about the whole row of classes in a row, yes. I'm actually doing it again this fall, the whole 6 days back-to-back classes. But I'm doing it at the Montgomery County Shooting Complex in Tennessee.
Yeah.
We are going to be back here doing this again next year, same bat time, same bat channel, right here at Tiger Valley. Tiger Valley is a hidden little jewel. They've got precision rifle, known distance range out to 1,000 meters. You can get out, I think, a mile on the unknown distance. Pistol bays, great classroom. Could use a little better air conditioner in it.
Yeah,
but
a little warm in there.
Dude, if that's my only complaint. So, yeah, good stuff. I saw we just had another super chat come in. Oh, that's from, what's that? Do you mean order? Hip and all that. Well,
yeah,
I did. That's the only one I got from you. I think. Yeah.
I like the screenshot and text method, though. That's pretty good.
All
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Susan, that's the only one I got from you.
It's the Mexican one too.
I like this. I can actually click on Susan's phone. Mexican Bagpiper 98. Sure, excuses. He's picking on me because I destroyed the first live stream. What it is I one time plugged in an external camera.
Yep.
And now it automatically defaults to that.
Yep.
So I didn't fix it. Cut me some slack, guys. I'm a gunfighter. I'm not a computer
I feel
guy.
that. I've made those mistakes as well.
Yeah.
External microphones, external cameras. Like, I want to upgrade the quality of the show. And then YouTube's dumbass on the back end, when you hit start live stream, no audio, no video, no nothing. Yep.
So Mexican Bagpiper, he actually took one of my first classes in San Antonio. Tea is better. I mean, coffee will always be better than your black tea, brother. I'm just saying. His question 5 bones. Thank you very much, by the way. You should talk about medical stuff and trauma since you're at a Pizza Hut. Okay.
That's a pretty broad subject.
Can you ask Carl if we have nods? Do we need to bring them to the advanced class? Here's the deal. I will bring weapon-mounted nods, weapon-mounted thermals, weapon-mounted Gen 3 I squared. I will also bring clip-on thermals for the rifles, clip-on Gen 3i squares. I will have ghost white phosphor. I will have auto-gated and non-auto-gated. I will have bino nods. I will have PVS 14s. I will have everything for you guys to get a chance to play with it a little bit. But you don't need to bring nods. If you want to bring your own, you're welcome to play with them. But the big part of the advanced class is, what about if you have to shoot this carbine or this pistol and you're not wearing nods? Because the reality is most of you guys don't run around with nods, but a lot of people don't get a chance to shoot in the dark. So do you have a pistol? A light on that pistol? Do you have a handheld light? Have you tried shooting with one? Have you tried? You got a light on your rifle? Okay, that's good for 50 meters. What about the other 250 meters? Because your carbine's good for 300. So we're going to use weapon-mounted lights. We're going to use nearby vehicle lights. We're going to use go lights, spotlights. I'm going to bust out flares, and to give you guys the opportunity to try shooting those rifles all the way out to 300 meters. So don't get hung up on the night vision so much. She's wanting her phone back, and all right, Susan.
So none of my messages are coming through.
No. All right, so I have another super chat here. ANKB. That is Annalise. She goes by Kentucky Fried Korean. Serious of the heart attack on Instagram. Her husband, awesome guy. He came and did training with me. She chickens out all the time. I'm joking. Oh, she makes the best blueberry chocolate chip cookies you've ever had in your life. These things are awesome. They're awesome. So $10. Wow. Hey, Carl, here's a round of beer for you and Emery. Y'all have fun down there. That's obviously from her husband. She ain't going to buy me a beer.
You talk shit about her on the internet. You said she's got good cookies, though.
What? She got good cookies.
Yeah.
She's awesome. She is awesome. Now, I'm giving her crap because she signed up for high-risk travel last August. And it's a class I used to teach to like executives going overseas. What makes them any more important than you with your family going to Disney World, right?
Yep.
So high-risk travel, and we do everything from surveillance, counter-surveillance, medical, but we also do escapology, how to get out of handcuffs, how to get out of zip ties, ropes, chains, duct tape. She signed up for it first, then she signed up her husband, and then she couldn't get off from work, but he did. So he did great, and the whole time he's like poking her with a stick. Great class, wish you were here.
Yeah.
So anyway, I still tease her to this day. I'm going to keep teasing you till you come take it. High-risk travel is again this year. We're going to do it in August and again in December. We might be adding a high-risk travel 2, which will get into lock picking and a few other things. More hand-to-hand combat stuff, but right now my primary instructor hasn't locked it in yet. If we get the 700 likes, we'll come on screen.
They're all wanting me to replace you on screen.
Yeah, so we always do a giveaway. Not always, but a lot of times we do a giveaway. I'll give away like a gun belt, or we gave away the slot to your club.
Yep.
And the guy that won it was so thankful. He actually bought a class for combat pistol carbine. We gave that away. So we usually do giveaways. I didn't do one last week because I just got too busy, and I'm not doing one tonight because I'm sitting in a freaking Pizza Hut. However, if you can get me to 700 likes, and right now I'm only at 243.
I'm going.
I will have Mama Bear come on screen and sit in Bear's seat. So, dude, I have done nothing but run my suck for 20 minutes.
You're good at it,
And
though.
I got you sitting here, dude.
I'm doing great.
What's new?
Do
Do you have a Patreon? You have a Patreon also.
I have a Patreon. Yeah. So I'm Bear from the internet. That's what I like to tell people. Bear
I don't even
Independent.
know your real name.
Yeah, you do. But
Bear it is. Bear it is.
we gotta get your noggin looked at. Okay. So I got
Okay, I'm
I
done
have
with talking because he
I
won't
have
do
a
it.
YouTube. I have a Patreon. J.A. Dudley, who's on here, has put me on all the socials. I even have a TikTok now, although I like never talk to it. Once per week,
The dances.
no, I do not do the dances. So I'm a drummer, right? So it's not that I don't have rhythm.
Yeah.
My body doesn't move that way. I don't
Dude,
dance.
they make me sit in the back of the church for a reason,
Yeah.
man. I have zero musical talent.
So
My son don't get it from me. Definitely not.
so there's a lady who works with us who runs the TikTok thing. We do a live stream for them once a week, and I just yell at them. I call them juvenile Asian information warfare officers because that's what they are, you know. But anyway, so we do all that, and that's fun. We just broke ground on the land for Caleb House, our restoration facility.
Yeah.
We just did that Sunday. So just got started with that, which is cool because
That's why you're racing home, right? You got more stuff to do on that.
Yep. So, we've got two ministries, and ministry's kind of like a dirty word because usually it's like, hey, give me a ton of money and I'm going to buy a jet and fly to Africa and preach the word, right? And so one of which is Grindstone. Grindstone does construction work and disaster relief. And our whole
Grindstone's the ones that came literally to my house, not quite my house. One tornado passed north of me, one passed south. But the guys that want to give you a hard time, I literally saw your guys in action.
Yeah.
And Grindstone, that's not fake.
There's 20 or 30 pieces of content from the 26 days straight we were deployed there. Like, go tell me that's horseshit. Like, that's all green screen,
No, you're go see the other guys that were down there they're all dressed nice and they're taking pictures in front of the work being done.
Yep.
Bear's little post on Instagram, he's actually sitting in the Bobcat, moving it, and the camera's going all over the place. And now I'm like, and the whole time I'm sitting there like, I got to get ready for a class. I got to leave, but I got a Bobcat sitting outside. I got 20 minutes. I should be out there helping them. You're making me feel guilty, dude.
No, you're good. Well, you helped support Grindstone while we were there supporting that community, which is cool.
Yeah.
Then we've got another 501c3 called Caleb House. And Caleb House.
Okay.
Caleb was a biblical badass. He was 85 years old and he killed 3 giants, which is pretty cool. 3 of them.
Yeah.
Which is, David was awesome. He killed 1. Caleb killed 3 of them at 85. Like, this is pretty cool. And so
that's some Randy Worth shit right there.
Yeah. Caleb had some moves.
Okay.
And so Caleb House is a restoration facility for juvenile human trafficking survivors. In other words, kids that scumbags have sold for sex. And there's a lot of, you hear all the time, like people are concerned about OPSEC, man. It's OPSEC. Like, they don't even know what the hell operational security is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of operational security around Caleb House because the cartel views those children as their product.
Yeah.
In many cases, we go and take them back from them, right? And then the issue is they have to have a place to go.
Yeah.
There's no aftercare facility, and even if there is an aftercare facility, if your program's a year long and you rescue an 8-year-old, what do you say to the 9-year-old?
Yeah.
Best of luck, kid.
Yeah.
You got it all figured out now.
Yeah.
And so we're doing the house parents model, where basically we have parents that live inside a house and these become their kids until they're grown.
Dude,
they raise
awesome.
them.
There's so many, and for the guys out there, like, well, that's all fine and all, but the government should be doing that. I want you to think about that because our government, they screw everything up, guys. Don't get me wrong. I like having my paved roads out here. I like having that. But the reality is that the government has got too much red tape in the way. And when I'm king, dude, we're going flat tax. And no, it doesn't. It says in the Bible, you take care of the sick and the lame. Yep. The church takes care of the sick and the lame. We take care. It doesn't say anything about the government doing it, 1. Yep. And 2, it doesn't say shit about taking care of the lazy. So
it says the opposite.
It says exactly.
Go to the ant thou sluggard and learn her ways.
Yeah. So now, dude, without violating OPSEC, we won't do it here. But you let me know how we can help you support that.
I appreciate that.
But yeah, no, you see, guys, when guys want to bash this guy, like I could care less if he ever told anybody that he was Richard Nixon's personal bodyguard or whatever weird thing you heard. I could care less because I see a guy sitting here who's like, Carl, I can't stay long because I'm making a difference in the world. And he never beats his own chest. Dude.
Thank you.
I'm such a shitbag.
You're
such a shitbag. Dude.
Thank you, Susan. One of these days, I'm gonna be able to throw it over my shoulder and just be done with it. You're not such a shitbag, man. So let me rebuke you, sir. Police your own negative self-talk. Knock that shit off.
Quit doing it.
Knock it off. Police your negative self-talk. Okay, you're not a shitbag.
No more shitbag talk.
We all have our giftings, talents, and delights, right? Like, I'm a normal guy, right? And that's part of why
I'm a regular guy. He's a normal guy. I'm a regular guy.
That's the thing, and that's part of why some assholes on the internet are like, well, you weren't a tier 1 operator. Neither were you, homie. Shut the F up, right? And so, right.
I was tier 2.
Right. Oh, I guess you're not very good, Carl. Right, Anyway, my point is, one of the reasons that people tend to not like me is because I disabuse people of their fantasies and destroy all of their bullshit. Because if I can do it, you can do it. I've got 4 businesses, 2 ministries, a homestead, a beautiful wife, 3 awesome kids, and a group of people that I love. And I travel around the country half the year.
Yeah. And
when there's a friggin' storm, we go work that too. So what's your excuse?
Yeah.
Why are you on the couch? Why is your life a piece of shit?
Exactly.
Right?
So I think that's so cool. Susan has reminded me that we're falling behind on our super chat.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
And we also only have 329 likes. So it's not like you guys are ever going to see Susan. All right. Anthony B. Hi, Carl, comma. Looking to build an AR-10 SR-25 type of sniper rifle. I have an Armalite lower with the intent to build a super SAS.
Okay, great music.
Would you go with a different build? Any advice? You have the lower. Here's the deal. What makes a weapon a precision weapon? Everybody, well, I want accuracy. Accuracy comes from precision, right? So you have to have precise ammo. In other words, good powder charge, good ballistic coefficient. You have to have a precision barrel. Okay. Because think of that as the fingers on that football when Brady throws that bomb touchdown pass.
Good analogy.
Those lands and grooves have got to be accurate the whole way to stabilize that bullet, right? And you have a precision barrel with precision ammo. The last part of that, and it's not putting an optic on it, right? Granted, a $5,000 Smith & Bender scope is better than a $900 Bushnell. All right, but if all you can afford is a $900 Bushnell, a current $900 Bushnell is 10 times better than the Leopold scopes that I ran 3 decades ago. They are. I've been to the factories. Right now, but the last piece, so you've got precision ammo with a precision rifle. The last part is hooking a precision mammal on the back of it. That's you, monkey. That's you. And what I mean by that is precision, and we do our tactical precision rifle course. We're actually going to do it here in Tiger Valley. On almost every slide is the word consistency, and that's you have to load the bipod. You have to have your head on the gun the same way every time. And if you're willing to do that, it doesn't matter what your lower is. It doesn't matter what kind of trigger you have. While my Noveski 3-pound trigger is better than your Timney 3-pound trigger, it's really not. A trigger's a trigger to me. The brand name on the side, it's just going to get covered up when I spray paint it anyway. So, go with the best barrel you can afford with the best ammo, and then learn how to use it. Literally, that's the best advice I could give you.
Thank you, Texas T.
Susan, your phone didn't unlock when I did Face ID. I'm new to this stuff.
It also, I think a lot of guns today are more accurate than the shooters are. You talk about the precision mammal portion. you know,
For sure.
I've had people send me uppers for review that literally couldn't hold a 10-inch group. They were garbage. And then I've shot some really nice rifles that shot from a bench, half, 3/4 MOA.
Yeah, last year's class, my top shooter was shooting a, I think it was a Mossberg. I didn't even know Mossberg made a bolt action.
Oh, the Mossberg Patriot?
Yeah.
I bought one of those because of Rex. Do you know Rex? Tiborosaurus Rex Defense?
No, I do not.
Oh,
Good people or bad people?
Great guy.
I'm not going to take your pick.
Yeah, I know. I'm just some asshole from the internet.
All right, 10 bones, guys. I'm going to try to get caught up real quick. An honor to have worked with Bear and Friends in Kentucky. One of your volunteers. And that's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Bless you.
Kyle's back. Here's another $10 for giving my wife hell. Totally worth it. You are welcome. Annalise, you know, when it comes down, I'm going to take your side every time. You know I will. Glock 316 threw down 10 bones. Ask Bear about leg pressing a skid steer.
Yes.
Appreciate you, Carl and Bear.
I did, in fact, leg press a skid steer.
Why would you were bored? I didn't do enough work today.
I did some shit that went sideways. Is what happened.
You laid your
I
skid
rolled
steer.
the skid steer forward.
The truth comes out.
It was accidental.
I can't say.
I rolled the skid steer forward. My legs come out. Luckily, I wasn't buckled, so my legs come out as the machine rolls forward. My legs come out the front door. I get my feet underneath me, and I'm staring down a 45-degree embankment into the lake. Right, it's full of all this debris from this tornado. And I'm like, I'm just like locked up, right? Like, leg pressing the machine. And there's this guy there, a guy named Reed, who you might know. He was an SF medic. And he comes walking over. As I'm leg pressing this machine, he goes, "Hey, man, you want a Cuban?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I do." He slides one in. We had to get another machine, flip the machine back over. Dude. But yeah, I did in fact caught it on camera.
I can't give you shit, dude, because it's actually my father-in-law's Bobcat, man. He rests in peace, so I guess it's half mine, half my brother-in-law's now. I laid it on its side in a pond.
You went into the pond?
Yeah, I was digging. My pond has a sinkhole.
Yep.
So it all of a sudden dry up like overnight, gone. And I'm like, okay, so when I want the pond to look pretty, I fill the sinkhole in. Yep. When it rains, it fills up and it's good for like 6 months.
Yep.
And then it'll open back up. So I didn't refill it because I needed to dig topsoil out for my shooting range. I was working on repairing my berm. So I'm down there digging topsoil, but there's like one part where there's still water and it's there, junk mud, and I'm down there not paying attention. And I'm backing up and get a turn with my scoop of dirt to put it in our little dump truck. And I turn it, I was like, so I'm sitting there laying on my side. I got water up to here. And I'm like, yeah, all those cool points you talk about, Carl, they are completely gone. So before my wife could get home, I had to, fortunately, she's not watching this live stream right now. She's actually sitting there with my 2 dogs watching. Right there. That's my wife with the 2 dogs.
Got it right there.
Okay. Yeah, I had to go get my Jeep and use the winch and pull it up on its side. But
yeah, those things.
They're fun. They're worth their weight in gold for getting work done, though.
It happened like that quick too, didn't it? Right.
All right, I got another guy texting. Hi, Carl. Just wanted to make sure on the email said class starts tomorrow at 8 a.m. for class and lecture part. Thanks. I thought he was going to text me and let me know that he wasn't going to be able to make it to the live stream tonight, because I usually get that. Like in the middle of a live stream, some guy will text me. Craziness. One of my students for tomorrow.
I get it.
All right, everybody's leaving me alone. That's so cool. Susan Britt, yeah? Are these all new ones?
Yeah.
Holy smokes, girl.
Hey, shout out to the Bear Nation, by the way, for coming. I've seen a lot of familiar
Bear
names
Nation that's hanging out. That's awesome.
Yep. Good people.
Enya Face. Hey, Enya, you need to talk to your mom about choosing names And your face. Hey, Carl, comma. Rucksack or bipod for supported fire? I'm a bipod guy, and here's why. Right, and I know the latest craze, precision rifle. They've got a different size sandbag for every obstacle in the shooting competition. I got that. We would use bean bags. We would use sandbags. We use stuff for certain, especially urban hide sites. But understand, you're not going to carry all these different size sandbags up on the mountain in Afghanistan. If you say you're going to do that, I'm going to call bullshit. But you will have your rucksack. So there's a time to use a rucksack. There are, but at the same time, I've seen guys that say I don't use a bipod at all because I will always be able to use my rucksack. I disagree with that because, again, I'm looking for consistency. And remember, consistency. So when I fire, okay, I'm holding my rifle and I go to shoot, explosion goes off, and as the bullet's running down the barrel, you got that harmonic whip through the gun. That vibration goes down the barrel, and it goes through the stock, down the bipod legs, into the table, in this case, or into the ground, in that case, or into the window, whatever it is I'm shooting off of, the hood of the car, the trunk of the car. If you move it from one part of the car onto the ground, the harmonic wave stays the same because it's running down the barrel through the stock into the bipod leg. Even if I'm going to sit it on the edge of a window, instead of putting my bipod legs like this, I'll have them forward, resting on the bipod feet. Even though my bipod's going forward, my whip is the same. It goes down the barrel, through the stock, down my bipod legs. I have the exact same harmonic throw through the gun every time. Does that make sense? So it is more important to be stable, yes. So there may be situations where you can get more stable with a rucksack. I got it. Go with a rucksack in that case. But if you have a choice between the two, if I can still get just as stable with my bipod, it allows me to stay more consistent. Consistency is one of the keys to accuracy. All right, Susan, it locked again. Sorry, I'm long-winded.
I just gave it a like, so we should be at 387 now.
Yeah, 387.
So that puts us 313 away from Susan appearance.
Susan, would you lower it to 600? No, she said 700. You guys are screwed.
Bad negotiator. That was,
oh man!
you started
I give up.
What happens if we get to 4?
Right.
And she goes, no. And you go,
Texas T threw down 20 bones.
Yeah.
Howdy, brother Bear.
Texas T's awesome. He's been to a bunch of classes.
And your face is back with 5 bones. Hey, Carl, what is your favorite Pineland memory? My favorite Pineland memory is, wow. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Pineland or if a lot of you guys are familiar with Pineland. Robin Sage is the name of the final phase of the Special Forces qualification course. It's where the Special Forces medics and the Special Forces engineers and the Special Forces weapons guys and commo guys and officers all come together as students. And they basically, you go into mission planning, you get parachuted in to Uwharrie National Forest, and all the civilians there in the area since Vietnam have been doing Robin Sage for helping Green Berets earn their Green Berets since Vietnam. So all the civilians are, they've been doing it literally for generations. And it's all unconventional warfare. They bring in like platoons of regular Army soldiers, a lot of times support kits from COSCOM on Fort Bragg, to come in and play the part as the guerrilla force. So they don't have any training really. They're typists, they're mechanics, but they have an M16. They've got an LBE, they've got a helmet, they've got uniforms. It's January in Uwharrie National Forest, and you're supposed to train and lead. There's no buildings. You've got your little guerrilla base out in the middle of the mountains. You've got to come up with potable water. They're parachuting in cases of MREs, and you find them. You got to win over their hearts and minds, and then you got to train them and then lead them on combat operations. Think French resistance in World War II type of thing. It's only 2 weeks long, but it is the longest 2 weeks of your life. And I have so many great memories. Um, how to say you have a favorite? I'll tell you, I have a favorite. My little weapons guy, a guy named Ong, he's from Cambodia. Literally, like, no joke, was in Khmer Rouge, like, killed his dad, killed his brother, raped his mom and his sister in front of him. Back of his legs are all scars where he'd been whipped as like an 8-year-old. So Ong, he's a weapons guy. He's about as smart as a spare Glock magazine. He is dumb as a stump, tough as nails, little Cambodian guy. Ong, if you're watching, you know I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating at all. So, anyways, he's point man, and I'm basically I'm doing nav behind him, and we would switch because as point man in the dark, you're looking for tripwires and everything. You have to switch off so there's fresh eyes. So me and Ung were swapping all night long. Yes, I was a medic, but before that, all my time in the regular army was recon platoon, sniper team. I'm good in the woods. So me and Ung were switching off. And Ung would hold, and I remember my head's down watching the compass. Well, Ung would hold this tree branch back, big tree branch, and he'd all of a sudden let that thing go, and it'd whack me right in the face. Ka-tow! And I'm like, so we're going back and forth all night long. And we parachuted in at like 9 p.m. and it's raining cats and dogs. About 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're having to cross fences, property. Well, we come up on electric fence and cross an electric fence, do that, cross the next fence, do this. Well, we're going down the edge of this. We decide to box around, and we're going down this electric fence. I just happen to be up on point. My favorite part of Robin Sage, I'm right here. So here's my branch. It goes all the way across. I'm literally electric fence right here. I grab that branch and I push. We all got rucksacks on, LBEs. It's raining. I pull that branch back. I let that puppy go. That branch hit Ung, threw him on the electric fence, and held him there. I look back, and he is blood curdling scream. I'm watching blue electricity arc across his M4, part to part, and goddamn son of beach, Carl, son of beach, Carl, goddamn it. Goddamn son of beach. Excuse my language. I didn't mean to run up the F-bomb counter. You guys know we try to keep this PG-13, but you did ask for my favorite part of Robin Sage. Ung did not pass that phase. He got recycled back, quit, went back to South Pac for a couple years. He actually came back and finally earned his Green Beret. I was a master sergeant in Baghdad at Task Force Raptor, and their National Guard unit came in to replace us. And there's I'm like, holy shit, dude, you were supposed to have been dead years ago. What are you doing here?
That's awesome.
Ung is awesome. Ung, if you're watching, in your face. Next one, Kobe Dixon, 2 bones. I support bears because of $1 or $2. I support bears. I support bears. Cause for $1 or $2. He threw down $1.99.
Thank you.
I'd give it
Dixon.
to you, but here's the deal: YouTube is taking 40%,
Yep.
right? Because it's a super chat, and then my film crew, they're going to take 50% of the rest of it, and I'm not going to put a 50-cent stamp on an envelope to give you 30 cents.
Grindstone
So I'll buy you dinner tonight.
Too late. I already paid for it.
All right. Guys,
I appreciate you, though.
I'll help you out. No, you're going to help me help your other ministry. What's the name of it again?
Grindstone Ministries.
No, I got Grindstone.
Caleb House.
Caleb House.
But you can
with
get,
a C?
With a K.
With a K.
But
Caleb
you can
House.
get to Caleb House through grindstoneministries.com.
Right? Because you were talking OPSEC before.
Yep.
Grindstoneministries.com, and from there you can link to why is human trafficking happening in the world today? Right? And you understand the word slavery. That's basically what that is.
$150 billion per year industry.
We got people bitching about slave reparations that was 400 years ago. And I understand it shouldn't happen, but that was so 400 years ago. Why is it happening today? So I got a seal buddy, and I don't really care for seals. I mean, don't get me wrong, if I got to play volleyball, I want them on my team. You guys know I'm joking, right? No. there is an older SEAL named Craig Sawyer. He goes by Sawman.
Oh, yeah, I know Saul.
Craig
Yep.
is very, very big into finding these
Vets for
human
Child
traffickers.
Rescue.
Yeah.
Vets for Child
So,
Rescue is his
yeah,
operation.
good guy. All right, Invader 137. Again, dude, you gotta talk to your mom about how naming you stuff like this. Invader 137. Mom, how about like Steve? You know, hey Carl. Given the mass casualty in Brooklyn today, what would be the minimum quantity items for Stop the Bleed EDC? Thanks. Here's the deal. Knowledge first and foremost. If you had walked into that place today with 10 tourniquets, could you have used all 10 of them? If you had a wheelbarrow filled of 30 IFAC kits, could you have used all? Better, wouldn't have been even more awesome if instead you take a couple of people that travel with you everywhere and you say, hey, my treat. Next weekend, instead of us going drinking, I paid for us to all go to a medical class. Let's go back to your mass casualty. Red blood cells flowing. Couldn't you treat more people if you had 6 hands instead of just 2? If you had other, you understand what I'm getting at, guys. I'll always push. Don't get me wrong. He's got great medical gear. You can buy my little EDC med kit. North American Rescue makes for me. It's vacuum sealed, so you can put it in the kids' lunchbox. You can travel TSA, and they don't bitch about it. But knowledge will always be number one. Knowledge, guys.
Hey, I'm going to hit the road.
Okay.
I'm going to come by and see you tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
though.
please do.
Thanks, Carl.
guys. Bear.
Thank you to
Bear
our
Independent,
family. up top.
Grindstone Ministries.
Let's do it better. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate you. And
Gordon, you made it. That's your better half?
This is my better half.
Hello, Mrs. Gordon. How you doing? Guys. All right. And this is so cool. Welcome to my man room.
let's see you tomorrow.
All right. I'm getting ready to bring another guest on. Give me just a minute. I'm going to get caught up here first. All right. Another 10 bones. Which pistol drills should Combat Pistol 101 students practice in order to be best prepared when they arrive for training? 2, half-inch wide zip ties for tourniquets. All right. First, all I want you to do before you come to Combat Pistol 101 is work on your draw and be fast with your, be smooth with your speed reloads and tack reloads. And if you don't know what those are, don't worry about it. Just work on your draw, right? Work on loading the gun and unloading the gun, and try to keep rounds at 5 meters inside of a 6-inch dot. Slow fire. Don't work on speed. Don't worry about it. Because when you come to the course, I don't want you to show up with bad habits. If you are safe and competent with the firearm, I don't have anything to waste time fixing, and we can then work on combat shooting. Does that make sense? And second question was half-inch wide zip ties for tourniquets. I've actually seen it used in combat. It was actually training. A guy used one of our long zip ties with a metal insert that we would use for flex cuffs, basically. And he used it, self-aid tourniquet. And does it work? It does work. All right. But here's the deal. A tourniquet, you want to be a minimum of 1 inch wide, because you go narrower, understand, you putting it tight enough, you're crushing tissue too tight. You're not actually dispersing that much weight. So they say at a minimum, go with 1 inch wide. Right. Second chance canine, no give to zip ties. It would be so painful. I had to use one once overseas trip. It was a scumbag, and I didn't care about his pain. All right, see, second chance canine, guys, that's Travis. Literally, he's the guy who my lead instructor for our med classes. Travis, talking about being too painful. A way I've learned, if you put on a tourniquet on a conscious patient, I've actually seen an 18 Zulu a master sergeant, try to take the tourniquet off himself, knowing that that's the only thing keeping him from bleeding out because it hurt that bad. So think of that. And if you don't believe how tight a tourniquet should be, obviously tight enough to stop the bleeding, yes, but it should be, understand, for you to get it that tight, if he's conscious, he's going to want that off. He's going to want it off bad. All right. So, yeah, just saying, well, I keep a couple zip ties with me. That's not going to cut it, guys. At the same time, understand, if that's all you have, I would rather you use a zip tie and the cord off of the back of a lamp. I would rather you cut the seatbelt out of the car. I would rather you cut the pant leg off of that patient and cut down both sides of the seam, the sewn seam on the pants. Cut down each side of it because it tears. You only got to cut a little bit, tear it, so it's like 3 inches wide, and then roll it. And it basically gives you something that's tight enough and 1 inch wide. My point is, use expedient measures better than not doing anything at all. But in order for you to be able to do things expediently, you have to know what makes correct. Okay, what makes a correct Cat 7 tourniquet or a correct soft T wide tourniquet correct? It's got a windlass. It's got this that's 1 inch wide. It's got this. It's got that. Okay, what do I do now if I don't have it? Since Travis is here, you guys, you'll hear, and it's all over the internet, and a lot of medical instructors will bash the RATS tourniquet, or they modernized it. It's now called the Rapids tourniquet. And they bash it because literally they say, well, it's too narrow. It's just a rubber band. It's a constricting band. You can never get it tight enough on a femur, on a big fat thigh of a 220-pound assaulter. I got that. But understand, Travis literally is the guy that, he won't admit it, but he's the guy that invented the Cat tourniquet and the Rapids tourniquet. And as he explained it to me, he had a child in Afghanistan, and Travis, you can correct me if I'm telling the story wrong, but it doesn't matter. I don't read the chat. He had a child, and the limb, I don't remember whether it was arm or a leg, it was too small to put a Cat 7 on. It was too small to put a soft T wide on. So he grabbed a constrictor band and a set of Curb Kelly hemostats, and it worked. And understand, Travis came up with something, because what about with, you've got kids around you, but Travis works with dogs all the time. Small limbs on a dog, you can't use a cat tourniquet on it. So, and I used to be one of those guys, the rats. No, it has to be a cat or it has to be a soft. Those are the only two approved tourniquets. And that's fine in the military for me, where everybody's got two. They had a cat for doing self-aid, and they had a soft T wide for doing self-aid, or preferably buddy aid. A cat tourniquet's easier to do on yourself than a soft is. But everybody had one or two at a minimum. But fast forward, I'm no longer surrounded by barrel-chested freedom fighters. I go out in my backyard with the chainsaw. Who do I have with me? I have me, that I can use a soft T wide on. But how about when I have my little niece Ada, 2 years old, or how about my dogs? You see, so I'm admitting I was wrong. I'm a believer now. And if you're going to be out carrying only one tourniquet, the Rapids tourniquet, as long as you're using it correctly, it works. Yeah, he went in. Little girl came to us. We used a bungee on her arm, full amputation. Had a 4-hour drive to get her to the hospital. Dad couldn't drive her and hold pressure. See, guys, Travis thought outside the box, and I think that's awesome. I really do. Susan, I missed a couple super chats. I see Joe Texas just threw down $20 for you. Thanks a lot, dude. Now I got to listen to her. We're only up to 460 likes. You're never going to get Susan on here, guys. You don't understand. Susan's like my wife. She don't want to be on film. All right. Mala Bananas, $10. That's the actual. I got his. Okay, so I think we're caught up now, Susan. Yay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. If that's the case, I am now going to invite on Emery Morgenstern, International Man of Mystery. Yellow Shabab. All right, guys. Hand them in, brother.
What is up, guys?
You guys all remember Emery? What's up, dude?
Not too awful much.
What's with the satanic symbol on the front of your shirt?
Dude, that's my unit shirt.
I knew that, but it
It's the only team shirt that I have left. The only one. It's got the team name on
are
the
you
back.
allowed? Sunoco. I'm not even gonna say- all right.
What are we talking about?
We are reading Shammy 313. That's the ShamWow guy from the internet.
Oh, I love ShamWow.
I know, I love ShamWow. Carl, I want to get my fiance a gun belt, but she doesn't need nothing that serious. What would you recommend? Thank you, sir. Honest
I have
dude,
an easy one.
ATS tactical gear.
Well, look, the simplest way to approach this, in my opinion, is, and the cheapest, is you buy like just a rigger belt, right? You pay $40 or whatever.
You
for a
can't
rigger
say
belt.
rigger on the internet.
Oh, is that
anymore.
racist?
It's rig row or packing American.
Packing Americans. There we go.
I'm joking, guys. Relax. This is the internet. Nothing serious on the internet. Okay. No. Yeah. No. Seriously though. You guys, if you don't know what a rigger belt is, back in the day, we didn't have all these fancy assault belts. So what we would do is we needed a belt that we could rappel with, sturdy, and the issued Army belts were not. What we would do is we'd go to the rigger shed, the guys that pack our parachutes, and whenever they would break like a cargo net or something for parachute ops, the cinch down points all have a rigger buckle there basically, and we would have them cut those and sew them off and make us belts. And then later on, we added the little loop for you to hook a snap link to for your safety line in the helicopter.
Yep.
But that was the birth of rigger belts. Is operators have been running them for 40 years,
Yep.
and they were never authorized. I had so many sergeant majors tell me that they're like, "How many times are you going to rappel out of a helicopter today? You really need that today? While you're here sitting in the classroom, you don't need to wear that belt. You could wear the regular Army official belt today. You really need that." I'm like, "Sergeant Major, relax. I don't do this because I'm rappelling out of a helicopter today. I wear this belt because it makes me look cool." So,
Look, all I'm saying is,
get a rigger belt.
Let's
Just get a cheap rigger
You
belt.
get here's the important thing. It doesn't have to be a rigger belt. You need a belt that's really sturdy. Okay, it can be a leather belt. It doesn't matter, but it's got to be stiff and sturdy. And then you can clip pouches on it, take them off, that kind of thing. That's the easiest solution. She can put it over her actual belt that she's wearing, or not wearing a belt, whatever, right? I think that's the satanic stuff.
Sergeant majors suck. Dude, trust me, I hate sergeant majors. I do. I hate sergeant majors. I was a sergeant major, so
Love the knife design. Thank you. Who's that?
thank you. See you
Rudy
tomorrow.
72.
That's
Yeah.
Bear. Bear's awesome.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Bear's
Thanks
awesome.
for
Do you guys
coming.
like Bear? Bear's
Thanks
a good dude.
for coming
Um,
on.
so I'm assuming you've already told everybody about our classes coming up this week.
I have, yeah, guys. You know how long-winded I am. I talk for
You?
45 minutes
No.
about our classes. All right, guys. All right, Bear's gone now. You can start bashing him now. No, no, I don't.
Man, you know, I was
Number one, when I say I'm going to have a guy for a guest on the show, you understand that probably not the best time. I've had a rantham on a live stream. If you want to call somebody a fake, you want to call Bear. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. It is what it is. So,
yeah, but you know what? I was really impressed
guys,
with their class today.
I'm very, very impressed.
Yep. It was awesome because think about it. All of you guys that have been to medical classes, how many of you guys have okay, like
And
there's
by the way,
practical
Grand Thumb,
exercises.
guys, Grand Thumb was nothing but polite and awesome to me. He was, he was when
I'm
we
sure
were in
he's a good
person.
dude. I'm sure he's a good dude.
Joshua Putman. Carl, what is your opinion of the CZ-P09 or a Canic pistol compared to a Glock? Think about switching from my 1911.
I love the P09, but understand that you must learn a double action trigger.
Yes. I'm not a fan of double action triggers. My only gripe with the Glock is it doesn't have an external safety. But I need a pistol. Understand, for me, a Glock is a sidearm and it stays in a holster completely protected. And I'm not going to be pulling it out until my rifle dies. All right. But if I could change the Glock, I would add an external safety to it. So I'm not big on double actions, CZs, and a lot of guys love them, but there's a reason why the P220 went away. There's a reason why the Beretta M9 went away, and because they've been proven. One, external hammers are a no-no for a combat gun.
Look, they're excellent guns, but understand that the whole deal, what Carl's saying, a double action trigger, you have to learn it, and it's not like the pistol's the easiest thing ever to learn anyway, right? Glock or otherwise. So it's a lot of work to learn a whole nother trigger pull that's a lot more complex.
Yep.
It's complex, and it starts off gross motor skill, and then you transfer back to really fine motor skills. So it's hard.
No, and guys, like the 1911 was cutting edge technology in World War One. In World War One, I love the 1911. It has an iconic place in our American history.
Yep.
Okay, but so did the M1 Garand. You know, fast forward, like Safari, Saltland Prepper 1 said go SIG. A lot of people want to bash the Army for going to the M18, the M17, but I got to agree with you. I have a M18 pistol, and the SIG M18 has an external safety on it. And you've got all these guys that are getting the SIG 320 without, because you can remove the safety.
Yep.
They're removing the safety from these SIGs. I'm like, if you're going to do that, get a Glock, because you can go to any gun store on the planet and get replacement parts and get magazines, and every house in America, I'm not talking about California, I'm talking here in America. You come here in America, every house has got a Glock in it. Mine has, I think, 17 or 18 Glocks.
Yeah, look, I hate Glock, and I think I have 8. And my main work guns now are Glocks.
Yeah, so
I hate to say it.
But what you're going to see, guys, is there's more and more. If you look at my gun belt, I have the Safariland piece for unclipping my holster, and that's so
QLS.
QLS. What it does is, if I'm working with let's say there's a group that's doing 1911s, I will dust off my 1911s, put my gun light on it, and put it in my Safariland holster for the 1911. I'll clip it on, and then I'll practice for a couple days before the class. If I'm doing a class with Berettas, which I haven't done one of them in forever, but understand before the Army switched, I would have to teach classes with Berettas. I would practice with my Beretta double action. Manual of arms is different, and you got to learn 2 triggers, just like Emery's saying. Right now, though, when I go to classes, all my videos, you see me running a Glock, because that's when you work with soft forces or law enforcement, that's what everybody was running. Now, what you're going to see, though, is more and more classes as I start working more and more. All the military units are running SIGs now. So you're going to see me teaching more and more with my M18. I'm actually having a 509 being installed on it right now with the Vulcan reticle.
Nice.
By Pete Jones.
Super highly recommended, by the way.
The Vulcan reticle for Red Dot is a total game changer. Yep. If you've never tried it, your guys bash it. Well, I'm good with mine. If you're bashing it, you obviously have never tried it, because anybody who has ever tried the Vulcan reticle will go, I'm shutting up.
You wouldn't think that a just a reticle in a pistol optic would make that much of a difference.
Yeah.
I got my first Vulcan last week, or 2 weeks ago. I don't know, whatever. It was recently from Carl, and I've been talking to Dimitri, who designed those. Who, by the way, is a phenomenal guy.
Yeah, he's
super smart. And we've been discussing like some ideas for the future and that kind of thing. But I gotta say, it blew my mind how much of a difference it makes.
Yeah.
Really
I got Peter saying he loves his SIG MPX. Is his favorite. Okay.
Well, first of all, that's a rifle.
That's not a pistol.
Yeah. Look, I grew up on a SIG, right? I had a 228 in the military. I loved it. I never had a malfunction unless I induced it intentionally. I love it. But Glocks are simpler. They're simpler.
Question here. Thank you, Susan. Cash me outside. Ready to pull the trigger on nods. On the Night Vision Guys site, there are so many options, even after narrowing it to PVS 14s. What are the details I need to know to make the best choice?
Good question.
See, that's the cool part about the Night Vision Guys .com. Literally, you can call them on the phone. You can go and message them online, and they're going to give you legitimate answers. And there are so many options, and I'm not getting into them here. And I know Jerry J will say auto-gated versus what I will tell you, because I don't want to tie up the next hour doing night vision. Talk to them, but get the best tube that you can afford.
Yeah.
Everybody, and I know all the pew guys, you got to use Ghost White Phosphor. You can put Ghost White Phosphor, brand new tube, Gen 3, next to a brand new green phosphor tube, and they're the same brightness, same clarity. But the reason why everybody jumped on the Ghost White Phosphor thing was somebody would show up with a brand new Ghost White Phosphor, and the guy would hold it next to the green phosphors that he'd been using for 6 deployments, and it had already been half burnt out. Of course, the new one looks better.
Yeah.
Right? Now everybody's got Ghost White Phosphor, and I can bring a brand new green one, put it next to it, and they're like, wow, Carl, is this Gen 4?
You know what blew my mind?
It's just
Carl,
new.
What blew my mind was that one time
At band camp?
That one time at band camp, finish the sentence, where you showed up with a Gen 2, that French thing.
Gen 2 Plus, yeah.
Gen 2 Plus. And holy shit, it was clearer than all the Gen 3s that I saw to date.
Yeah. We're not going to get into
there's
that.
A reason for that.
That was AGM Global Vision. Another great company, guys. And I've worked with a bunch of different night vision companies. To get all the brands in one location, you understand your number one seller of night vision is Optics Planet. Number 2 is Amazon, believe it or not. Who saw that coming? But number 3 is the night vision guys. And in order for them to compete against the other two, it's because they legitimately give you good customer service. They also give you great pricing. But as far as companies that are making stuff, I used to like FLIR's, Insight, and then there's lots of great companies. There are, but AGM Global Vision, I think they're out of Arizona, New Mexico, are legitimately trying to make great quality stuff. But they want to grow as a company. So how do you do that? You've got to cut your profit margin lower so that more people go to you right away. And that's the business model they're doing. So good stuff indeed. I see I had another super chat come in from Sherry Champagne, aka Erica Hochstetler. 5 Bones, Carl, Emery. Glocks are nice, but all steel frame handguns are better for a good old-fashioned pistol whipping than using a polymer framed pistol. Yes, but a battle axe would work better than beating somebody with a steel pistol.
Honestly, I think it's a lot of feel, right?
Yeah.
Here's the bottom line, right? Consider this, and this is the one thing that it's one of the things that makes me think Glock or Glock style guns are the way to go for soldiers.
Yeah.
We carry on the street, it really doesn't matter. You carry what's safe. You carry what you're good with,
and train with
right?
it, yes.
And you train with it, and you can get good with anything, right?
Yeah.
But there's a feel thing. I like feeling to have a steel weapon in my hand that I can do some damage with. But every ounce counts. When you have to huck a lot of weight, man, it adds up quick. And that's where the plastic guns shine. Right?
Guys, I know it's hard. Can everybody hear us okay? I hope. My mic is not doing great here. I know we got a lot of background music. A cool part was they shut down the entire restaurant for us so we could do our live stream. So I want to thank Pizza Hut for doing that for me. All their employees, they've all been awesome.
Yep.
Dude, we are already an hour and a half into this glorious live stream.
I wish you guys could see the lightning show. We're getting a show.
Lightning.
Awesome.
Kind of cool.
Awesome. Did you do your rain dance today, Carl?
No, I do that for pistol carbine. All
Yeah.
right, okay. I did the rain dance for tomorrow. Apparently, my paperwork was wrong. I got rain coming for tomorrow. It'll be awesome.
Yep, right in the morning too. Right in the morning. It's gonna be awesome. I don't think we're gonna get 6 inches of baby shit here though. There's some grass holding the dirt together.
You guys think I'm joking? All right, tomorrow, 5 a.m., rain. 6 a.m., rain. Guys, literally, trust me, if I'm going to do a rain dance, I'm going to time that, right? This is rehearsal. We're good. My class is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
They're all saying that they want Susan. We want Susan.
All right, come on,
If you
Susan.
guys want Susan, no. She said not till they hit 7 likes. We're only at 523.
I missed that part.
Yeah.
I missed
Oh,
that
no,
part.
600 over.
600?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So Susan, to help you guys out, she said if you can get the like count to 600, then I will get out of my chair. We'll put Susan right here, and her and Emery can do the rest of the live stream. All right. Malabanas, threw down 10 bones. Please expand on your dislike for external hammered pistols in combat. Are they equally unsuited for civilian self-defense? To me, whether you're doing self-defense or self-offense,
Same
all right,
thing.
it comes down now. EDC, what's going to get all over you? Belly button lint. If you've got it right, you got that pistol underneath your shirt. Okay, she's sneaking in here, guys. There's Susan. My reason for external hammers, decock levers, all this other stuff, the exposed parts of the slide on a Beretta. If you've ever seen a Beretta M9, the whole top of the slide is cut out, and I've
It's
just
just
seen
barely.
mud and everything and snow and ice get down into exposed hammers because a 1911 is not double action. 1911 is single action, so you have to carry it with that hammer cocked back. You get a big chunk of mud there, that gun's out of the fight. Anybody, well, my H&K, no,
Excuse me.
no, I'm calling bullshit. Yeah, I'm calling bullshit because I've seen modern H&Ks, I've seen Berettas shit the bed. I have seen P226s, SIGs, shit the bed. They get dirty. You get that first shot, boom. And then doesn't matter how much I've seen guys literally sucking water out of their camelbacks and blowing it into their guns, trying to get the action to work again. And they're doing that in training, like in the middle of competitions, okay? Where literally I can stand right next to them and go, how's that working out for you? I've never seen that before.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. And so, again, the hammered 1911 was cutting edge technology for World War I. It was awesome.
It's another moving part to break.
But
it's exposed.
Glocks were cutting edge technology in 1980. They were groundbreaking, 1980.
Yeah, and what do we have now? 5 generations of the same garbage.
Yeah, he's not a Glock guy. I like Glocks. You guys know I'm a Glock guy, okay? But 40 years later, of course they copied Glock, okay?
Yeah.
So the SIGs, the Smith & Wessons, literally, you'd be a fool if you didn't copy the Glock. Remington copied the Glock. Everybody copied the Glock. CZ, go to any table that sells pistols at SHOT Show. They have at least one version that is a striker-fired pistol, safe action pistol. They copied the design of the Glock. Now,
By the way, if you like
Okay.
CZ, go for the P10,
Yeah, P10.
Yeah. right?
But if you're going to copy it, okay, let's improve on it. And a lot of them tried. And that's what SIG did with the 320. They took the Glock, they copied it, and then they improved it. So
You know what? You know what? To me, is the biggest improvement over the Glock on the 320.
what's up?
It doesn't cut my hand.
Change the backstrap for Emery. For
Yeah.
me, they added an external safety. Everybody said, well, I don't, this is my safety. No, why do we have a safety on a M4 or on an AR, your AR rifle? Why do we have a safety on an M4? Well, this is my safety. No, it's not. It's, you come in, understand when you come around a doorway in a shoot house, I know every paper target is a threat that you shoot. And nobody's running around, and there's no furniture, and there's no kids running around, there's no dogs. That's not real life. Real life, you go through, you blow that front door open on that building, or you're running through the mall to the sound of the gunfire because you know your wife and daughter are shopping at that end of the mall, and you're running. Every person, every corner you come around is not a threat target. Is it a threat? Is it not a threat? If it is a threat, is it a threat that warrants deadly force? And the reality is that you come in with a rifle, even if the guy's not a threat, he's scared to death. He doesn't want that rifle pointed at him, and he's going to grab onto that gun. And I unfortunately, I watched a Marine shoot an Iraqi kid, a teenager, I think he was 16 years old, shoot the kid off the end of the gun because the kid didn't speak any English, and the kid did not want to let go of that gun. And they're all yelling, they're hitting, but the Marine ended up shooting the kid off the end of the gun. That kid didn't deserve to lose his life. That parent, that mom standing there in the room did not deserve to lose her son. So people in the military need to learn to fight without shooting. And there's so many great strikes you can do with a gun, but while you do them, that weapon needs to be on safe. Finger outside the trigger well, possible, but couldn't somebody else put their finger inside the trigger well? Yes. Okay.
Or a piece of clothing, or a stick,
yes.
or
So like Erica said earlier, well, you can beat somebody down with a steel frame gun. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You come around the corner with that pistol, finger off the trigger, somebody right there, literally right there, he's a threat, but he doesn't warrant deadly force. What am I going to do to him? Well, I'm going to beat the guy down with the pistol, and I'm going to zip tie him, right? But I have to beat him down first. And it's just, I like safeties on my firearms for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, and by the way, that's another, in my opinion, downfall in 1911 is I think the safety is not safe.
Susan Britcher
No, I don't
from
want to sit him.
Australia.
Sit him.
All right. Guys, I would like to introduce you to, this is Susan Britcher, aka Mama Bear. How was your flight?
Terrible.
The cool part was she had it. Hopefully hubby comes in tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
But you're looking forward to training?
Yeah.
Next few days? Awesome. Susan's story is a long one.
No one's gonna
I
talk.
won't get into her background and everything, but basically, we love Susan. She was one of my original patrons, and she's a big fan of the whole tactical rifleman team. I'm sorry, Z didn't make club. But Susan, I want to publicly thank Susan for all the great stuff that she does for tactical riflemen. She is awesome, especially what she does for our patrons. It's kind of a downer hearing about Lanny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened later?
Lanny, they're taking him off the respirator tomorrow.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah, he took a turn for the worse.
Oh,
That was
shit.
too bad.
Oh, man, I didn't hear that.
Anyways, I didn't mean to be Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I'm ruining it.
You know what? He's one of the family. I mean, it's important for us
it
to share that.
is. So anyways, guys, this is Susan, and she is awesome. Susan is awesome.
And she finally gets to take a rifle class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She came and did our very first Patreon course, which basically she came up with the whole idea. You know, yo, bloke, you should do a class for all of your patrons. Hip hip and all that rock. Your Wally.
I just heard it. You fucking Wally.
Yeah, you freaking Wally. So yeah, our Patreon class, you guys know we do it once a year. We had Karen and Toby, a bunch of Erica Hotstetler has come to it. A bunch of our patrons come, and this year we're actually doing it in Texas, third week of November. Susan has not been able to come the last 2 years because of COVID restrictions in Australia. That continent has been on lockdown. Heaven forbid you all would catch the flu.
I mean, really, it's been on lockdown since it became a country.
No, back then it was a penal colony.
Well,
exactly.
To keep the riffraff out.
Yeah, but do you know what happens?
in.
Do you know what happens to you if you fly into Australia with a fucking banana in your bag?
Well, I had a stray bullet in my bag once, and that was bad enough.
Oh, yeah, I bet they didn't like that.
Lockdown. 300 people going through security or just looking at me like.
I love it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Because she went to fly here, because she's actually one of the only people in Australia I know that owns her own Glock 17 with a red dot, by the way, a Vulcan from Primary Arm. Because you compete with it.
Yeah.
You actually just got certified as a RO.
Still in the I've got my testing to do.
She got her test.
Hey, Susan, what do you think of the Vulcan reticle so far?
I love it, but then I don't have anything to compare.
No, but yeah, not in comparison to other stuff. Do you find that circle really helps you, or are you like, nah, whatever?
Yeah,
For
no,
sure.
really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because you can't own guns in Australia unless all the paperwork in it, but literally Susan was disciplined enough to do everything so that she could own one, and you had to be like a member of a shooting club for so many years. So anyways, I'm glad.
Susan, koala bear cute. Only problem with that is koalas are not bears.
No, it's a wallaby.
No, that's true.
Come out and karate kick you. They have a wallaby. Susan, koala bear, cute. That's mama bear.
Hey, Susan, what
Go
does
wash your
kangaroo
mouth out
taste
with
like?
soap.
I'm not a fan, but
No?
you
Of
like
what?
the jerky, the kangaroo jerky.
I love that.
I've had jerky, but that
kangaroo
doesn't tell me
jerky
what it
was
tastes
awesome.
like.
No, you got to
it's
cook it
good.
right, otherwise it's horrible. It's really
Okay.
tough, but you got to just sear it, and it's.
Well, the tough old
it's
bastard.
healthy for
Stuff,
you,
the
low
stuff
fat,
she
yeah.
sent me was really, really good.
I had some
She
of that.
brought
That was
some
awesome.
Tim Tams.
I got some Tim
So
Tams
she
in my
said.
bag.
Love that shit.
I haven't had them. No.
Love
You don't get
those.
any.
Oh, that's okay. I can live with that.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything you want to say to the masses? Does anybody have any questions for Susan Bridget?
Anyone have the
Big
question?
Fezzik said kangaroo jerky isn't bad.
It's
But
not.
he
it's
likes
good.
Vegemite as well, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did someone say Tim Tams?
Donut doesn't get any.
Don't,
Ever.
don't
No.
get any.
He's on a 100% Tim Tam ban for life.
Oh, sounds like there might be a story.
No story.
No story.
He
no
just
story.
doesn't deserve
Not for
He
public.
just doesn't deserve them.
Yeah.
Sorry, Donut.
Uh,
I guess you're allowed donuts.
Wow.
And dude, Vegemite is not great.
No, Vegemite
Wash
is
your
just
mouth.
Sucks.
See, she loves Vegemite.
Yeah.
I mentioned Susan was one of my original patrons. So back then, we didn't know this, but we weren't doing live streams back then. And Susan, her husband Glenn, couple other Doug. Remember Doug back in the day?
Miss
So,
Doug. Doug,
I
where
miss
are you?
Doug.
Come back.
Where's Doug? Where's
Yeah.
Doug Bunyard? We miss you. So we had this small group. Well, Susan, my small group of patrons, she sent me a care package from Australia because she's a nice lady. We didn't know Susan back then. And her and her husband are awesome. She sent me a care package with Tim Tams. She sent me a Australian dictionary so I could figure out what the hell she's saying.
And this guy's like eating the Tim Tams like they're normal cookies.
Yeah.
Dude.
But she also sent me kangaroo jerky because it's cool. And then she also sent me I'm looking at this thing and it's a change purse, like a leather change purse. And it's got like the little Australian logo on it. I'm looking, I was like, I don't carry change. I guess I could use it for like, you could probably put 40 rounds of 9 mil in it.
down range.
Yeah. So I'm like, maybe I could put ammo in it or something. I look at it and I'm like, holy shit, it is a no joke kangaroo ball sack. Like they cut the nuts off of a kangaroo, tanned it and put a little string to make it a change purse. So my wife comes in, and I'm like, honey, check this out. This Susan and Glenn sent me all this stuff. Care pay. It's like Christmas. And she sent me, this is a kangaroo ball sack. My wife got so
She
mad.
flipped her shit.
She lost her mind. It is inappropriate for a woman to send another woman's husband a kangaroo ball sack. And I'm like, I've never heard that anywhere.
I'm pretty sure that rule is not written down anywhere.
It's not written down anywhere. It's never been written down anywhere. So, anyways, that was Susan's first impression with my wife.
In my defense, the only reason I sent it is because you made a joke online about picture me sitting there making handbags out of kangaroos. So when I saw it, I thought, perfect.
First of all, Susan, you don't need a defense for sending an awesome gift.
No, it's not.
But that shit was awesome.
Not
It was
awesome.
hilarious.
It got me in so much
Sorry,
trouble.
Dana.
All right, yeah. So that was
Sincerely.
Dana's first impression, or Susan's first impression with my blushing bride.
Has she got over it yet? I don't
So she got over. So at the first Patreon class, my wife went to Patreon class, and she met Susan and Glenn Britcher. They realized that they were an awesome couple, and that Susan, being the sassy Sheila from Australia, you did not mean to offend my wife at all, and now they get along great. So that's cool.
Foster's Australian for beer.
No, it used to be.
No,
Now it's not.
I think
They
the Brits bought it, didn't they?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. It's not
Tastes
very
like
good.
piss.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, it was urine back
Yeah.
then. It's urine right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but what do we have to go? Oh, the American beer, Budweiser.
I'm more of a Yingling kind of guy.
I do like England.
No, you drink girl drinks, so you don't have a say in this.
Carl does drink girl drinks.
I drink Helen's Finest and Dead Red.
No, that's
No,
wine.
no.
That's not girls' drinks.
Wine coolers and stuff.
She's talking about jankier
my
stuff.
daughter leaves wine cool. My
Yeah,
daughter just
yeah.
turned 21.
That's just
So
an excuse.
on a couple live streams, I bring out like the half full
The pink.
wine coolers,
Yeah.
Like a
the
box?
blue and the
Drinks,
pink.
yeah.
So I guess I like my daughter's wine coolers. No big deal. But the cool part though is here we are 4 years later.
Yeah.
4 years later,
Still like
and
everything.
Susan has become one of my favorite students. Basically, she's like that niece I never
I
had.
never wanted.
Yeah, she's like a niece. She's like a niece I never wanted. Yeah, but no, it's cool. She actually, if you want to tell the story, I'll let you tell it, but I tell it better. She was around the water cooler at work, and there were some people talking, and she just, no, that's not really true. I can't say it in her accent. No, blokes, that's not how your buddy do it. She started talking about situational awareness and stuff because she had sat through our combat mindset situational awareness class. So she started talking about it for her boss. So then Susan, like, oh my God, Carl, what do I do? And her boss asked her to give a situational awareness class at her business. You're doing some meeting or whatever, convention. She did that, and then they made you like go to like the national, and she, no joke, this little girl right here did situational awareness at the national conference.
I had to email him for his.
Oh yeah,
lesson.
she's like, I don't remember any of it. And so I sent her the slides that we're going to be using those same slides in class tomorrow. You want to do the class?
No,
You don't?
Why not?
nobody needs to see that.
I think you should.
No one will understand my accent.
Everybody
Yeah, no,
understands it.
they
It's not
won't.
like it's Scottish.
No, shit. I'm
No,
like,
you
all right,
can't hear.
now
There's a
say
difference.
it in English.
Yeah.
Not the Queen's English. Now say it in English. I'm sorry, guys. Everybody knows I'm deaf. It is what it is. So, anyways,
I'm out anyway.
all right,
Bye,
Susan, thank you for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, Susan Breccia from Down Under. All right, we just had somebody, Carlos Fernandez, just threw down 20 bones for the shits and giggles. That's
No message.
awesome.
You're not even going to say
No,
something to me?
Carlos is just wanting to say hi. I appreciate it. Honey, if you're watching,
Hooky Precision.
thank you for hanging out on this live stream. Guys, I want to give my wife a shout out. Yeah, literally. My wife puts up with way too much stuff that I do, so she's awesome. Susan's awesome. Emery's awesome. I'm just a schmuck, but they put up with me. Gordon, you're next.
All right.
You coming?
Sure.
Hey, Okie Precision, what's up, brother? Thank you, guys.
You
I'll be
bringing
good.
your better
I'm going to
hat?
clear the seat out. Love you guys.
You don't have to. Now, don't put your wife on the spot. Don't do that. All right, guys, I'm bringing Gordon, another one of my patrons. Parmelius, you're not leaving, are you?
Better not. It's all right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, sir.
Good.
Good to see you.
You
Welcome
signed up
back
for
to
class
Texas.
tomorrow?
I'm not. I just came to visit you, Carl.
Just came here to visit. Guys, what is this?
That is,
Those are Ranger beads.
those are paste beads for you so that you can retire your zip tie paste beads that you've been using for the last few years.
Yeah, they are.
I got one for Chad, and I got one for Coach. Welcome to Texas.
Awesome. Well, thank you, dude. I appreciate it. Dude, these are like nice case beads. Those are I was eyeing the prayer beads that Emery had here. You know,
He got his off camera.
he got his off camera. Well, that's awesome, dude. Can I open mine?
Absolutely. You want to use my knife?
You know I don't carry a knife. So. Oh, dude, he's even got a Spyderco. I had it open, but I'll use. Huzzah!
I sharpened it for you.
Nice, dude. Nice. Look at that puppy. That is a pretty one too. I figured it was the police model.
Yeah.
No, that is a sexy knife right there.
Oh, no.
You are a no-go at this station. You saw all that hair fall? No, you didn't. So you sharpened it. You just didn't finish
It's been a few
sharpening.
weeks. It's been a few weeks. I've opened boxes. I mean, we get stuff from Amazon all the time. You sharpen. Oh, man, look at that. That is gorgeous. Susie, you see
That,
this?
guys, is a pile of hair.
Oh, great.
That is, guys, if you're going to carry his knife, carry a sharp knife or carry a tool like Gordon does.
You need to finish the arm now.
What?
You need to finish the arm now.
Finish my arm.
Do it all.
Shave it all.
Guys, look how hairy I am. Okay? Trust me, why don't I have hair in my arms is because I test how short my knife is quite a bit. No, this one needs to be sharpened too. The tip's a little dull. I'm just putting it. I'm just messing with
Dude, yeah, I know. It's my turn.
it. So let's check this puppy out here, man. Pretty freaking sweet.
You got a little keychain there. too, if you want it.
Okay. That's pretty badass, dude. All right, so I've had people actually ask me, what is that, dude? That looks gay. They're not gay, all right? You hang this off of the strap of your day pack, your LBE, load bearing equipment, whatever it is. Okay. And you take all your beads, you push all your beads up. What you can find is there's 9 beads down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Want to make sure I'm not lying. And then you can have as many as you want up here. So how they work is you need to have your pace count. So let's say you're doing distance and azimuth. Now I know that I have so many steps for me to go 100 meters. Okay, but I need to go 1,100 meters. So do I take that number of steps times it by 11? How about if I get like, that'd be like 3,000 steps. How about if I get to like 842 and I lose track? I'm screwed, right? So what I do is I walk, and when I get to that number for 100 meters, and for me it's different whether I'm wearing a rucksack, whether I'm not, whether I'm wearing a rucksack at night or not. And I also have another pace count for a slow jog. Right, so when I reach my number, I pull down at 1. I can do it in the dark. I don't got to count that, nothing, and I count my number again, and then I pull down the next one. When I pull down the next one, and when I come up on a road, I'm like, all right, I was supposed to cross a road at 400 meters, and I'm at my number's 57. I'm at 53, but I've got 3 right here, so I'm at almost my 4th bead. I'm right at 400 meters. My road. Hey, bingo. That's it. I keep moving. When let's say I had to go 1,100 meters, I pull. Right. I'm pulling. I go to pull. There's no more there. The next one would be my 10th one. So now what I do is I pull one down from the top. That means I've gone 1 kilometer, and then I push all 9 of these back up, and then I start again. When I get there, I pull the next one down. And what that allows me to do is I have gone 1,000 meters plus 100 meters. I'm 1,100 meters into this trek. All right. So anyways, that's how pace speeds work. I know none of you guys care because you all use GPSs on your phone now. I got that. But no, but seriously though, there are small little skills like this. So if you have a set of pace speeds, these are awesome. Thank you, dude.
You're very welcome.
This is hands down the nicest set of pace speeds I've ever had in my life. I'm gonna have to put these up in the man room. They're just too nice.
You got 4 kilometers plus 4.9,
Yep,
right?
4.9, and when you hit the next one, it's 5 kilometers, and then you can start from scratch
It's
again.
time to
Yep.
take a nap.
What if you don't have a sexy set like this because you don't have any nice friends like I do? What I have used for decades is a piece of 550 cord with a knot right here, a knot down bottom, and I take a zip tie, small black zip tie, and I put 9 of them in a row. I cut the tails off. I put 4 of them up top. I cut the tails off, and now I have knots of zip ties that will slide up and down. I actually made a set in Ranger School that were little 550 cord knots that would slide down. That's how bored I was in Ranger School, and total waste of time. Susan is reminding me that I have super chats. Gordon, you want to read them? Are any of these yours? Did you pay
I
any
didn't
money
pay
today?
it.
You
No,
didn't pay
I
nothing,
bought
did
you
you?
beats. I didn't.
You brought me
Yeah, that's right.
Pistol whipping. That is all right. The Gustache 2531. Who would name their son the Gustache?
I don't know.
He threw down $5.
I'd like to meet his mom.
I currently work church security. Are my chances better with a headshot or pelvic girdle shot against an armored up active shooter? Here's the deal. Think about your church. No matter where you're standing in your church, can you see what color shoes everybody's wearing in church? Can you see which women have thigh highs on and which ones are wearing skirts or versus dresses? My reason for saying that is you can't. Why? Because the way everybody is sitting in church, all you can see is heads. Now, even because you're active shooter, and understand your active shooter may be sitting, he may be hiding, coming around the edge of a door, but even if he's standing in the church, you're doing church security, everybody else is seated and all their heads are up to here, or heaven forbid people stand up. My point for saying that is if he's hiding behind the altar or half of the doorway in the back coming around, your odds are you seeing the head, the shoulders, and possibly the high A zone are much more greatly increased. One, and 99% chance the guy's not going to be wearing body armor. So it is a lot easier for you to hit the chest than it is the head. The head is a small target. I'm not saying the pelvic girdle is not a viable target if that's what you can see. I'm not saying that at all. Okay. But what I will say is we teach, if you guys will make a fist with your left, you can do it right now. Make a fist with that left hand, put it on your sternum, right? And that's the shape of your heart, size of your heart, and that's where your heart sits inside your body, right? Now, that's where I want you to aim. Now, on paper targets, yes, you can, well, if I hit over here, that's still a kill. That's not good enough when we shoot paper targets. I want you to be able to stay here. And here's why. Paper targets, I need you to be inside that. Because real life, that paper target's not going to stand there. Real life, that guy is going to move. He's going to do that matrix shit to get out of the way. When he does try to get out of the way, that shot group that was right here might be somewhere else. So anyways, I want you to aim at the big target. Aim high A zone. Start there. All your muscle memory should be start there and then work your way up to the head. So if you start center mass to the chest as fast as you can, knock the guy off balance. If you go to knock the guy off balance and he's not responding because he happens to be wearing body armor, you're still going to knock him off balance. You're going to disrupt his aim. his firing procedures. And that's going to buy you enough time to then, right, because my recoil impulse is already making the gun come up. Run that recoil, run that sight picture up to that high A zone and keyhole the guy through the melon. I know that's a long answer, but always start high A zone. I've had guys that say, all we do are headshots. I'm calling bullshit because the reality is combat, you need a bigger target. Start high A zone, and then from there, if where the guy's going, if you can see the pelvic girdle, take the pelvic girdle. But more than likely, especially in an area with a lot of non-combatants, you're going to see the head, take the head. There you go. Was that a good enough answer? Anything you want to add to that?
That was awesome. We had that happen here in Texas just a couple of years ago. He was very well trained. The church security guard dropped him. One shot right to the head.
Right to the head.
Yeah.
Too many people in the way. Take that viable target. You're not going to see the pelvic girdle. Even if you shoot a guy through the pelvic girdle, you take away his mobility, but understand all of his cranial nerves, including intervening the diaphragm and the shoulders, are still intact. He can still manipulate that gun. Right. So we had a $50 super chat come in. Can you just touch it, Susan? That's crazy. Luke Laplita? Luke Lapida? I'm sorry, dude. I completely slaughtered your name. Carl, buy Susan and Emery a beer. Thanks for all your hard work. Dude, I will do that. Yeah, I will. I'll buy them both a beer.
They're all giving you shit for taking me to Pizza Hut. All the places you could take me took me to Pizza Hut.
The plan was to do this live stream back at our hotel in the business center. They don't have a business center. It's like a desk pushed up against the wall with an old computer on it.
So we drove there. We walked in. The guy behind the desk is, "Are you looking for the elevator?" I said, "No, I'm looking for Carl Erickson." "Carl who?" "Tactical rifleman." "Oh, yeah, he's down at the Pizza Hut."
We need to wrap up.
What's that, Susan?
We're at 2 hours.
We're at 2 hours. All right, guys. Susan's reminding me I got to be in class in the morning. I want to give a shout out to everybody, the rest of my moderators, Donut, JT, all you guys. You know you're awesome. I want to thank Pizza Hut again for hosting this glorious event. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor again, Acre Gold. Legitimately, guys, the affiliate code for Acre Gold is underneath the video. You can check it out there. It is good stuff indeed. And I love the fact that those 2.5 Acre Gold bars, they make them into rectangles, not squares. So they're literally the perfect size for me to hide in my EDC belt. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool indeed. Guys, please keep Lanny Murphy in your prayers. Yeah, that broke my heart today. I want to thank Bear and Bear Nation, Bear Independent Nation for coming and hanging out with us today. Guys, this Friday's video is Randy Wurst is back with Survival Mentality for both hostile animals and hostile human beings. Good stuff indeed. And I want to remind you guys, we've got a bunch of classes coming up, medical classes, but my tactical precision rifle 101, we're only running that class one time this year. It is the last day of May, first day of June, and literally, we're only doing it one time this year, and I think the class is half full. So anyway, there's still slots for that class. Sign up for tacticalrifleman.com. Great stuff indeed. And yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming out, dude.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Parmelius, you want to show your face? Anthony, you want to visit? No? Guys, let me bring in Anthony real quick.
Say hello to my lovely wife.
Hello, lovely wife.
Watching? My wife's not watching. She's over there.
Honey, I know you're watching, and I love you. I miss you. I'm jealous because my wife got to babysit my niece all day today.
Oh,
So she got the she get ready to turn 2, Ada is just the cutest little thing. She loves me because I'm her remote control human. She literally, I hold her, she just points, and she knows I let her do whatever she wants. So that's the only reason why she likes me. But that's okay. I'll take anything I can get. Karen and Toby, been a pleasure. Everybody else out there, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We got the like count all the way up to 840. And honestly, I wouldn't have been able to do that without the support of all you guys. So here's the deal. I am still in the area next Tuesday. So we'll look at doing this again on the road. Yeah, it's been a good live stream. I want to thank God for keeping the tornado from hitting here, keeping the power from going out. Been a decent live stream. It's always great hanging out with you guys. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Y'all take care and shoot straight.